Boeing again, guys, getting pounded after basically one of the doors blew out on the aircraft. The stock is trading down almost $20. It's trading at $230.33 after closing at $249 on Friday. So that's a big move down, folks. And again, you know, there's a lot of issues now. Are there going to have to be more recalls, more groundings, all of these different things? But the key is, where does this start to look interesting? And the answer is pretty simple here. If we zoom out on this chart, right, and we look at this area, there's a huge area of support right in here. Look at all these highs before we popped up, broke down, and then broke out. So that, to me, in the short term today, right here, right basically around 220-ish, give or take a little bit, that is going to be a very important level today. For me, at least, I'll be looking at as a day trade if it dumps out down in that range. Again, we're about $10 away on this. On a stock that's dealing with this type of news, it wouldn't be outlandish to see it trade down into that level. But again, huge, like all these highs right along here, all of those highs are right in that level. You can see, again, the breakout right there. Another caveat to keep an eye on here, if we wanted to right here, if we take away these lines, is we could also look at a secondary level, which is pretty darn close here. Let me zoom out just a little bit. And what we could do is just drag a trend line up here. That's further down, but I do think, again, if we continue to flush in the coming days and weeks, let's say the news gets worse and worse for Boeing, that would be your next level to watch, this upsloping trend line on Boeing, currently trading around 194. All right, so we know our levels here. For a day trade today, I would be interested in this range right in here. On a swing trade basis, I might be interested if we continue to fall. And remember, this was at 270 just basically a few trading days ago. So if you were to continue to fall in the coming days down into this 193, 194, 195 level, I might think about a swing trade bounce for a few days off of that level. What we want to do here is ICP. I want to show you about this trade. This was a trade we've actually taken twice in the last few weeks, each time closing it out for around 20% profit. So 20% profits on this. One of the thought processes here is very simple. If we look at this and we zoom all the way out, there's a major pivot point, right? So what we can see here on the chart is that if we go back here, this gave me a specific technical level right in here. All right, so we knew that right around 15 to 16 was going to be resistance on ICP. By the way, I have no cares in the world if this thing does well in the long run or it doesn't. I'm a trader. I'm in, I'm out, I'm taking advantage of what the charts are telling me. Okay, the next thing that's fascinating here, guys, is that if we look at this and we go in here, and I want to zoom in on this, right? So if we look at this, one of the things that alerted me where to short it as well, and it was a confluence of factors, was that if we go down to price range and we look at this, we can see that this thing rose $6.60 from this breakout to this high. If we also then look at the breakout here, look at this, right up to that level. So we talk about measured moves. I talk about measured moves quite a bit with you guys. And what you can see very clearly here is that you had a $6.60 approximate move on the first breakout, then consolidation, and then from the low to the high, it was another $6.60. And so again, you look for these confluence of factors, and when they align, that's where you start to gain an edge. Remember, if you have one factor, let's just say one factor, it's a gap fill, it's a double top, it's a this, it's a that, your probabilities of success on trading that, 60%, 65% maybe slightly in your favor. When you start to get two factors, it jumps it to 70%. Three factors, it'll jump it almost to 80% success rate. When you combine factors, that's where the edge becomes heavily in your favor, and that's what I like to do. I look for this opportunities out there, and again, it does give me an edge, and obviously those of you that have studied with me, have taken the Winning Trader series, you know exactly what we're talking about here. Now, I do just want to say this, is that it doesn't guarantee a win. There are still losses. Remember, even at 80%, you're still losing 2 times out of every 10. I am by no means perfect, and I think that's important to always remember. Too many investors, I see people that think I'm always wrong, and then I see investors that think I'm always right, and usually, honestly, it's somewhere in the middle. I just put the averages in my favor and keep rocking and rolling.